Hey, whoa, just had a little bit of a fumble there, but we got it. Hey guys, welcome back to the Obi Sports Talk Show. I am your host, Obi, and I just want to welcome you in. If you're a first-time viewer, I'm always glad you're here. If you're a returning viewer, it's good to see you as well. I don't want to forget about all you guys that are my loyal viewers, but we're here to talk about give you my prediction on the Super Bowl coming up next week. Wanted to get that out this week and get you geared up for that if you're into that game, no matter who's playing. And we're going to talk a little Buckeye basketball. We're going to talk a little about them a little bit here and try to get some action in there a little bit there, here and there about that. And some other NFL news came across last night, and we're going to talk about that a little bit, about what you may think about how that may affect both teams going forward. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. We've got the Super Bowl coming up next week against the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chiefs come in with the best record in the NFL at 14-2, and Tampa Bay comes in at 11-5. And it will be played in Tampa, Florida, and of course that's where the Buccaneers are from. And they get to play in their own home stadium, or at least their home city. I don't know if it's actually in Tampa Bay, Florida Buccaneers' stadium, for it's another part of Tampa or what. But yeah, it's kind of like a home game for Tampa either way. Is that playing a factor into who wins? Could it play a factor in it? It could, and it could not. You know, Kansas City Chiefs come in. They got Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Hardman and a couple good running backs and a good defense, Travis Kelce. So Kansas City is tough. So that it can be a tough game. Kansas City's favored by 3. Of course, we know Tampa Bay has the 43-year-old Tom Brady, who's still slinging the ball around all over the place. Leaves New England and then goes to Tampa, and he's going to his 10th Super Bowl. And I'm not a big Brady fan. I've never been a big Brady fan. And maybe some of it has to do with that he's from Michigan. But also, I just felt like he kind of walked into a situation in New England. Kind of got a little bit lucky. And I just never been a big fan of him. And maybe I'm just not a big fan of quarterbacks that win when they go up against other teams that I seem to like. And I've never been a big fan of Tom Brady. I just don't like him, and there's no way around it. So I will not be rooting for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. They have Antonio Brown. They picked him up. They got Robert Gronkowski. They got some playmakers over there as well on their side of the football. And they're going to pose a challenge for Kansas City. Should be a good game. If you're going to watch it, if you're going to watch it, hey, I hope you enjoy the game. And I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to watch it yet or not. I don't really care if either one of the two teams. I'm not a big Pat Mahomes fan. As good as Pat Mahomes is, I feel like you got to give him the edge just because he's a little bit younger. And he's more hungry, looking for his second Super Bowl win. But Tom Brady is looking to prove something on the other side. He's looking to prove something that it wasn't just a fluke in New England that he won all those Super Bowls in New England. That he could go off and do it somewhere else. That he could separate himself from Bill Belichick and still win the Super Bowl. That it's not all Bill Belichick to help him get all those. I mean, Tom Brady is probably going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. And he's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday. And hats off to him for him leaving New England, coming to Tampa Bay, and getting Tampa Bay the Super Bowl. I'm just not going to root for the Buccaneers, and I have a hard time for the Chiefs. So, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but if you guys want to watch it, hey, great. And who do you guys think is going to win in that game? Let me know what you think about what the game might be like and who's going to come out on top. Is it going to be Mahomes and the Chiefs, or is it going to be Tom Brady and the Buccaneers? In other NFL news, last night, if you didn't see it, the Detroit Lions and the Rams made a trade. Matt Stafford goes to the Rams, Jared Goff goes to Detroit Lions. An interesting move by both teams. Now, we all know Stafford was probably going to be on his way out of Detroit anyways. Not many people kind of thought how things were going to go with Jared Goff. Because apparently this year, maybe a little bit last year, him and McVale have not gotten off to a good start. The relationship has kind of rocky a little bit. Goff has been benched a few times. In fact, the playoffs, they started Wolford even though Goff was ready to go. And Goff had to come in when Wolford got hurt. They kind of had a little bit of disagreements, sounds like. A little bit of button heads, a little bit. And maybe Goff's time in Rams was due to end. But they bring in Matt Stafford. And Matt Stafford had a great career with the Detroit Lions. Lions, although didn't get into the playoffs with Stafford, and is that because they didn't have enough talent around him? Was it coaching? Could be a little bit of both. I mean, Stafford I recall he had one good season. He had Calvin Johnson, and they dominated, but I think they fell short of the playoffs. So he's going to the Rams, where he's got playmakers, if you will. He's got to have a couple good tight ends. I can't think of their names offhand. He's got Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and several other young wide receivers. A couple young running backs who've shown that they've got some very big problems. Cam Akers and another guy, I can't think of his name offhand. And they have a pretty good, solid defense. So is this what Stafford needs to improve himself to get to the playoffs? Is go to a team like this and show that he's not just a regular season quarterback, he can get some stuff done in the playoffs? That is to be determined. But it's an interesting move for the Rams and a team that is ready to win now. And it feels like they need to get back to Super Bowl. And then maybe they feel like they're on the cusp of being close again. They get Matt Stafford. Can he get him over that? Can he get him back to the Super Bowl? We've seen. On the other side, you get Jared Goff going to the Detroit Lions, who his team is a mess on offense and on defense. Not a whole lot of talent on either side. So it's this thing they're going to start all over and rebuild around Cooper Kupp, or not around Cooper Kupp, excuse me, around Jared Goff. That's what they're going to try to do. So does that take Detroit off the board in the upcoming draft for quarterback? A lot of people have them linked to taking maybe Justin Fields or one of those other quarterbacks. Does this change the Detroit Lions' perspective of drafting a quarterback in the first round? Does that take them off the board? The other quarterback sitting out there right now that wants off his team is Deshaun Watson. So what's the next move for Deshaun Watson? Where does he go? There was a rumor speculated around, not necessarily a rumor speculated around, but some Browns fans were like, oh yeah, let's trade Baker Mayfield for Deshaun Watson. We don't need Deshaun Watson. And he may not want to go to a team like that. I tell you, there's two teams that would be a great fit for Deshaun Watson. After this move by the Rams and the Lions. The New Orleans Saints. With Drew Brees retiring and the next two quarterbacks on the roster, James Winston and Taysom Hill. We all know James Winston isn't probably the greatest a great quarterback. He's probably a mediocre quarterback, and he may win the Saints some games because the Saints got playmakers. We know Taysom Hill can run the ball. His passing is a little bit shaky at times, and maybe not the best ability to throw the ball. Deshaun Watson throwing to those receivers, Michael Thomas and a couple other guys. I can't think of other names of their receivers, but yeah, Michael Thomas getting the ball thrown from by Deshaun Watson. almost be like watching DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson all over again in the Texans. So, and the other one I think would be intriguing to see is if the Patriots decide that Cam Newton is not the answer and they go get Deshaun Watson. Because you know Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots want to get back to where they were. This was a letdown season for them, not get to the playoffs, and they want to get back into the playoffs, and not just get into the playoffs, but win it all. They probably have a better chance of doing that with Deshaun Watson than they would Cam Newton. So what's that say for Cam Newton? He can stay on and be the backup if he wants to do that, but let's be honest, he doesn't want to do that. You know, so maybe the Bears take a shot at Cam Newton. Aaron Rodgers supposedly could be out of Green Bay. I don't see that. I think Green Bay will work something out where they'll keep him. Pittsburgh Steelers could be in play maybe for a dark horse for Deshaun Watson, but they got Dwayne Haskins, and Ben says he's coming back for another year if they could get his contract going. So that's it's interesting to see because those are a few quarterbacks, other quarterbacks that could be on the move before we even get to the draft. You know, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there. So stay tuned on that. So let's switch some gears here and talk Buckeye basketball. The Buckeye basketball team has has a pretty good solid season. They're ranked number 13 in the country at 13-4. They will play Michigan State today at 1 o'clock. If you see the video before 1 o'clock, you will be able to check it out and see what we kind of thought as I break down the Buckeyes basketball team. You got a lot of their players back. C.J. Walker's back at the point guard position, and Shane Washington, I can't remember his first name. And then E.J. Liddell, and the guy that feels like he's been there forever, Kevin Young. And those guys are the ones that kind of really done the most of the scoring for the Buckeyes, with a few other guys stepping in there. Buckeye basketball team is kind of exciting to watch a little bit, so if you haven't got a chance to watch them, maybe check them out a little bit and see what you think about them. And Sparty's kind of had a rough year. It's been a rough season for Tom Izzo. But they always pose a threat because of their head coach, Tom Izzo. And Ohio State's only favored by 7 over as Michigan State. Like I said, who's just had a rough year, hit with COVID, and maybe not having as much talent as they usually do, as far as Michigan State's basketball program goes. But they're a team that can still probably be pretty feisty because they have Tom Izzo, who will play with a lot of heart and a lot of passion. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do. But yeah, I mean, if you ever get a chance to go to a Ohio State basketball game, you think the football games are loud. You go into a basketball game and watch it. And I've only been to like one basketball game, and it gets loud in those basketball stadiums, especially in college ones. NBA is a little bit more, kind of seems like it's a little bit more mellow. But you get to a college basketball game, and the crowd's into it, and the game's going good for your team, you could really feel it. It's like almost like breathtaking, man. It's fun. It's fun to see. It's fun to experience that when the crowd is at full capacity. So if we ever get over this pandemic, and they open the doors and let basketball teams fill the house, go watch a college basketball team of your choice, and just feel the enthusiasm and the atmosphere of your team just get loud and get fired up by your team. It's pretty cool. And hopefully someday I'll get to go back to a college basketball game and enjoy that experience once again. It's just awesome. Hey guys, I'm going to go on, get on out of here. But I just wanted to kind of come in here and just talk a little sports with you and give you some different little insight on some different things here. As we talk about some NFL news that happened and breaking down the Super Bowl, even though I don't have a dog in the fight, and talk a little Buckeye basketball. But hey, I look forward to hearing from you guys about what you guys think about anything we talked about today, and be giving some thought about some things that we may be talking about going forward from here. We might try to get into talking a little bit of Blue Jackets towards as the season kind of gets going, and the Blue Jackets are playing pretty good hockey right now, and that's exciting to see because being from living in Columbus, it's good to see that as well. So, as always, guys, I enjoy you. I want to hear what you guys have to think, and just let me know what you want to do going forward from here. As always, comment, like, share my videos, tell your friends, tell your family members all about these videos as we talk sports, and just interact with each other through the comments and stuff like that. So hey, leave comments, send me a message on if you got my number, send me a message there. Message me, email me, or whatever you want to do. Let me know what you guys think. Hey guys, have a great rest of the day, and I always look forward to talking to you. Until next time, this is Obi out.